Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good morning.
Hi, welcome
Hi,
back.
Nisha. Welcome back.
I know.
You were celebrating from starting from Christmas, New Year. We haven't seen you.
It's been a pretty tough time for me personally. Sorry, I fall sick and things were really crazy for me, but thankfully, all back to normal almost. So, happy to be back and happy to welcome with another fabulous guest, man. That's great.
Yes, we have a very important guest today, Krishnakant Mathuria. He's a technopreneur running cybersecurity ventures in India and Middle East. He's also an avid traveler, passionate wildlife photographer from Mumbai, and we happened to meet through social media as always. So we connected, and he did a trip with us to our new camp, Mara Trails, Masai Mara. So it was very fun traveling with him and sharing knowledge. So let's welcome and hear from him about
Definitely, I
his
am.
journey.
With seeing the backdrop, I'm really excited. The Mara plus plus the Black Beauty for sure. Hello, Krishna.
Hi,
Hey,
hi. Good evening, everyone.
good
Good
evening. Good
Am I
evening.
evening.
audible?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, great. So, thanks, Hermes. Thanks, Nisha, for having me over.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really honored to be presenting my wildlife journey on your platform. And I have created the presentation. It's a little bit long, but then I thought,
Before
if I
before
put
before going to the
everything in that.
presentation, we would like to hear from you how you started,
Sure.
what made you come into this
Yeah.
field. Yeah.
Can you just give me a moment? I think there is some echo that is I'm facing. Just give me a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have a second device, maybe is there a second device
Did
connected
you
here?
open any window?
Yeah, there are. I think there are two devices connected. Yeah, Biju, it's true. Sometimes the technology can give us a bit of
Is
trouble.
it okay now?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's again.
The phone or any other devices connected to the screen. I mean, sharing the same stuff.
Krishnakant, is it okay now?
am I audible now?
Yeah, now
Yes,
you are.
Okay, great.
right.
Yeah.
So sorry for the glitch. I don't know
No, it's
the
okay.
reason.
No worries. It happens.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So about me. I'm Krishnakant Mathuria. I come from Mumbai. Mumbai is my home city, and I run a cybersecurity venture, typically, in technology space, which is my by profession. Uh, and of course, I have offices in Dubai and Mumbai, so I keep on shuffling, and that is how I got in touch with Hermes. and we had I had a very fruitful trip to Mara. I've been into wildlife photography. I've been doing that since 2011, and that's when I started. And over a period of time, I feel I have matured as a photographer. Uh, I have been visualizing a lot of places where I want to go to, and capture the iconic species and the moments, and it gives me real thrill just to be in the wild, even if I don't have to do anything. So that is something that excites me. I'm sure I have tried to cover a lot of photographs, which basically takes takes me through the entire journey of mine, and I'm sure audience would enjoy hearing me and my experiences.
I'm sure.
Sure, definitely.
We all are waiting.
Right. So you want me to start the share my screen?
Yeah, let's start with the presentation.
Okay. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I am Krishnakant Mathuria. Uh, I will be taking you, walking you through my journey into the wild, and some of the experiences I've had, the friends I've made, and lot of interesting situations. When you are in the wild, you come across, and all of that. So thanks Hermes, thanks Nisha, again. So yeah, so this is basically the places where I have traveled to. Um, Typically central India, and which is basically the tiger heartland. You can say places like Tadoba, Pench, Kanha, Bandhavgarh, and also I've traveled to northeastern part, especially for the birding. You have a lot of exotic varieties of birds which are found in that part of the world. And apart from that, down south, of course, famous Kabini and Bandipur. And apart from that, few pockets in the West India, in Gujarat, things like Nal Sarovar, which is basically a wetland, and Sasangir for lions, of course. Down south, again, I've been to Yala National Park. If you see in the left column is Masai Mara, which was my last trip, which I did with Hermes, and I've been to Southeast Asia, but not a lot. I've traveled. This is again my wish list where I want to be, and so I've created this project in Google. So whatever location I come across where I want to go, I just put it up, and I keep on looking at this image.
That's
So
great.
it motivates me to plan and go to different places. This is again Southeast Asia. These are majorly to deal with the rainforests and especially for the birds, exotic varieties of birds.
Yeah.
On my wish list is, of course, going to Papua New Guinea for bird of paradise. So yeah, I mean, this is the bucket list. I've missed out on Africa. Of course, I have a vast list of locations to go in Africa and check that out. Also, South America, and then the Antarctic and Svalbard and Kamchatka. too many places, too big a list, but I'm sure in coming time I'll be able to go. So this image, I purposely put this. This is my first ever tiger shot. Uh,
Okay.
so you can see it's completely blurred. Um, um, I had never seen a tiger in the wild, and my hands were trembling with trepidation. And this is the shot that I got. I mean, it just crossed our jeep in a swift 3 or 4 steps, and it just went on from there. But that is where my love affair with the wildlife began, and I'd never looked back since then. Every year, I feel there's a certain amount of growth that happens within me when it comes to when I go to wild, when I capture nice moments, all of that. So, so. This is again, welcome to India. Uh, this is a male in Kabini forest. Uh, this is one of my favorite images, so I thought I should start with that. Tiger is synonymous to Indian wildlife and tourism, wildlife tourism. So I have captured a uh, lot of wildlife images over the years, especially tigers across various places in India. I've tried to make some of the images which I thought I should show to the audience, and I'm sure they'll love that. So these are again some of the iconic places in India. And the first image is of a famous female called Graswali in Jim Corbett. Uh, this is again, so symbolic. The other image where uh, there was a village which was relocated in Ranthambore in Zone 10, and now there's a temple in which is frequented by tigers to take siestas, or they drag their kills, and they have it. Others are being again, this little cub belongs to a famous tigress T18 in Ranthambore, and this is again a Kabini shot. These are again a few different habitats. If you look at this image, it's from Kanha. Typically, I mean, this is again action shot. Tiger was stalking on a prey, and it kind of gave a false charge, and I was able to capture that motion. Uh, this is again a classic Kanha shot, where you have meadows and you have tall trees, and sunlight is beautiful. So,
Yeah.
I just absolutely love this kind of photography. Uh, this is again Ranthambore. If you have been to Ranthambore, this is classic Ranthambore terrain. It's very rocky, very hilly, lots of twists and turns. So look, getting a tiger there, following it and then anticipating uh, was really really awesome. This is again a famous tiger from Tadoba called Matkasur. um, I was very very lucky to get this a shot where it's just rising as if praying. What I want to cover going forward is different genres of photography. I think I am practicing now, or I am getting into. Uh, I'm not a pro photographer. I'm sure a lot of people, my friends, all of you guys have joined here, and uh, I'm just one among you. And in fact, I've learned like my photography from through friends, through such trips, and it's so much fun. So this is again a very nice picture I love, because if you look at the jackal, and it has a little bit of a backstory where you know uh, on the left hand side of the road, a tiger had made a kill, and on the right hand side there was a den, and these guys were very very scared to uh, go approach the kill and scavenge. So eventually this guy got a chance and he pulled up a really big piece of deer's leg, and it started running. So I got a perfect frame which is like a 90-degree angle, and I just love the way it was composed. I just again um, I do all kind of photography. It could be anything as small as a spider, or even giants like giraffes or anything. Everything interests me, provided I can make something out of the image. Uh, uh, this is a gray Indian jackal. Now the story is, I got this in Pench in one of my 2018 trips in October, and this is so rare. Uh, my guide Mithun, he told me that this is equivalent to 500 tiger sightings or 1,000 tiger sightings. After that, you get a wolf.
Yeah.
So it is so rare. So I think we were the only jeep. So I was with my good friend Jeet, and my mom was there with me. That was the first trip I had taken my parents to jungle, and all the people decided to skip, and my mom was there, and we got to capture this. So again, it's very rare to photograph, uh, and I think I'm very lucky. But then again, I always believe if you got to you got to get good photographs, you have to keep on traveling, you got to keep on spending time. This is again Hodgson's squirrel. This is photographed in eagle's nest. Uh, I was with a good friend called Vishal, and we were like in the middle of the night, almost 12. After midnight, we ventured out because these are all nocturnal species which typically are more active in the night. And this is like we are on the edge of a cliff, and there is a dead tree. This is interestingly a gliding squirrel. It has the glands, and it kind of it flies off. So we got to photograph, and also we got to see that it just glided in the darkness to some other perch or tree. um, this species are again in the north of India, which we have. I had made a trip. This is basically a place called Latpanchar, which is in West Bengal, and these are the species which are typically found there. The special one is the Rufous hornbill, because it's very rare, it's very beautiful, and it has a very interesting story. These are again some beautiful captures that I've had in that trip. This is again a bay woodpecker, and it was very interesting. So again, this is not a habitat nesting shot. I know a lot of people don't like nesting shots. We were at a very we are very far from this. We're not disturbing the guy, and we are completely camouflaged. So yeah, we were able to see the behavior. It was cleaning the nest, and it was throwing out all the grubble. So it was wonderful to witness and capture this guy. These are again some of the common species. One of course, this one is black and orange flycatcher, endemic to Western Ghats. Again, in north, I have been very lucky in my trips, like uh, in say Lakpanchar, or even in Eagle's Nest. I was able to capture Mugun Leo Chikla, which is which is just like it's so rare that and endemic to that place. It only thrives and survives in that, I think, 10 square kilometer area. It cannot go beyond that, and I think there are only less than 100 left in the wild. So sorry, I had to put this presentation a little bit hastily, so I just missed putting that image. but I'm sure I'll be posting it sometime.
Yeah.
Um, Now, this is something very interesting. I always have learned a lot of my photography in the backyard. The best way to learn photography is in your own backyard. So I can say these are the shots I've taken in Dubai, in Al Qudra. But then when I started a journey, every Sunday morning, I with my friend we used to wake up really early and explore like different corners of Mumbai, just going birding and photographing whatever, documenting whatever we can. So it was very, it's a start, and eventually you kind of it spikes your interest in different species and behaviors of the mammals and birds. Uh, and I started experimenting with light, and I think this is the place. I think Hermes invited me. Um, uh, I never knew such a place existed in Dubai. I've been there for like 5 years now, traveling on and off. I mean, uh, so I thought I got some really beautiful images and a lot of chance to experiment with light, opposite light, and typically different how do you visualize a photograph with different backdrops. So it really creates, you can create something really special if you are able to visualize. For me, um, especially now, I feel visualization is the key for me. So most of the trips that I travel to, these are again some endemic species found in north of India. I am sorry, I am unable to recollect the exact names of this squirrel and this monkey. Um, but yeah, these are again endemic to that part of the world, and lucky enough to capture them. Now, some special moments which I wanted to share. Uh, uh, this is again, I call it a rolling leopard image. Uh, so this guy in bench, and this was shot on my birthday. uh, this guy was trying to cross the road, and it was traveling through some tall grass. It just came on the road and it started rolling, and I think I took around 10-15 shots of it rolling. And one of these shots, I was just looking into the cam, and just I call it like a Vishnu pose. And this is how a lot kind of poses, if you closely see. And I love this frame because it gave me the perfect backdrop, and it was at a very good distance for me to click. So again, it was a birthday, so it made that this image all the more special. Uh,
Yeah.
Few images which are very dear to me. This is again a black leopard, which was the backdrop of the presentation. Um, so again, we have a very interesting story behind this. In 2018 Jan, uh, my bunch of friends, photographers, we went, and we to capture specifically the black leopard. And on the ninth, till the eighth safari, it was completely blank. Although we got tiger and other leopards, this leopard was like very elusive, not showing up. On the ninth safari, we just missed it by, I would say, a minute or a couple of minutes. And because we were just photographing an owlet, and I think I'm the guy who was behind that. Well, I stop at every moment. Let me photograph. And uh, my friends were like, let's go, let's search for the black
I,
leopard.
I remember this.
And
Let me
uh,
stop.
and there was a jeep in front of us with people with the mobile cameras, and this guy was going around the jeep. And moment he saw our jeep, it ran away inside, and everyone was like cursing me. Now what? So I told, see, it's okay. 90% we are done with the trip, but 10% it's still there, and fingers crossed, we should get something. Just a minute. So so 10th safari was an epic. We not only got this guy, but we also got him with his mate,
Wow.
which was very, very, very special. I think not a lot of people will get such kind of images. And again, our jeep was the only jeep to kind of spot these people very early morning. This is very, very early morning. I think maybe 6:45 in the morning. Light was not that great. I've tried to recover using doing some post processing. Um, so these are like I would say 2012 to 14. I was just getting to know the places. I didn't even knew a lot of places existed even in India, because I've never been like a wildlife buff. But although I used to be a big fan of discovery and watching wild animals and documentaries, all of that, but I never thought I'll get into the wildlife. So, so yeah. I mean, I've been progressing and improving my skills, and also able to understand my limitation with the gears which I invested in. So that is again a very important aspect of photography, that you need to have right gears, and beyond a point you feel, in spite of having best of the breed, that there's some limitation, and you need to go a step further. You keep that's the urge. And I'm sure everyone who is into wildlife, they'll relate to me and what I'm saying. So I just want to cover Africa now, and this was my first trip to Amara, but I think it was very, very satisfying. Uh, so I just want to cover certain genres of photography which I had visualized that okay, I want to learn that and I want to go and do. So I've tried to uh, put some pictures of all the genres starting now. This is again a male lion. It was on a morning walk. I got an amazing portrait of this guy. Um, uh, for me, I feel expression is really important. There has to be a certain emotion that has to be invoked if someone sees the photograph. So this is something, again, I love this guy. It was very fierce, probably very close to us, and this is like in a full frame image I got. So these are the portraits, some of the portraits which I have got. I think this is Bahati leopardess. Um, we,
Yes, it
we
is.
we were waiting. It was stalking a deer, I think an antelope, and it suddenly started pouring cats and dogs. And it did made a futile attempt to attack, but it was unsuccessful. And the rain, it was just like cats and dogs. It was just pouring in, and then it started heading back. So we were kind of chasing her where she was heading and trying to be a little bit ahead of her to get the shots. So I love this composition. It was raining, and it was just trying to. It looks like it's trying to drink some water, which was slipping through her nose, and I just love the composition and the rain and the backdrop. This is again a serval. It was in a morning walk. It was a classic. This is a classic habitat shot. So again, what I loved is the eyes, and it was moving continuously. So it's very difficult for to capture the face, uh, and it paused for a moment, and I was able to capture that face and the look. So I kind of loved this. I thought I'll just put this up. Um, Again, a backstory to this. There are two lionesses. I think Yaya and there is one more lioness. So both are like mother-daughter, and they're raising the cubs together, trying to form a pride of their own. Um, so I think Hermes was with me when we
Yeah.
shot this. They were just
Yes.
walking in the grass, and I think I visualized they going up a mount, and uh, just I thought maybe I can get some shots, and all the four cubs came. They paused for a moment, and then one of the daughters. She came. Our daughter, I think the female is called Pamuja,
Yeah.
and paused for a while, and it was few seconds. I was able to get this shot. So it was again. It's this that kind of portraits are really it makes me feel happy. This is again a very small cup, uh, but I love it. Came so close, and I was having a 400, and so I had a 7200 with me lens, but then they walking pretty briskly, so I didn't thought of swapping with a smaller lens to capture it in full. I did get good shots, but then I tried to zoom in and whatever I could get, and I think I love the look in the cub's eye, and it's just beautiful. Uh, the other genre is again rim light and silhouettes, and no better place than Africa, Masai Mara to you know try and experiment. So one of the things that uh, I've learned over a period of time is to experiment when in the wild. Keep on, as my good friend Vishal, he always tells me like compose, recompose, compose, recompose. So you try to see beyond. Don't just click the habitat shot or just a portrait and that's it. Now this is something very interesting. If you look at the entire the light shaft of light, this is not actually the cloud, and this is not the morning. This is the setting sun against the backdrop of a mountain. So I tried to create this image, and it's come up really well. So again, this is something I wanted to try. So the good part is, unlike India, there's action everywhere. You have, all around you have animals around you, and you can just keep on clicking. Um, so coming from India, having traveled to so many different locations in India, it's very hard to track a tiger. By the way, I mean, um, uh, my after my first tiger in Bandipur, uh, I made 3 trips to Ranthambore with 3 safaris, and I was so unlucky that I didn't got. And it is like considered mecca of wildlife, or say a tiger reserve in India. And people were laughing at me. कि यार तुझे ये मिला नहीं, you didn't get a tiger, like I mean in 9 safaris. So I was very heartbroken that time, but then I thought, let me pursue, and eventually one of the important things that I've learned is whenever I travel to any place, the research is going to be very important aspect of uh, uh, that trip. Pre-visualizing, understanding what all mammals, birds you find, learning about their behavior. So you have that in the back of the mind, awareness that this is a predictable behavior. It could act like that, and I can be ready. Otherwise, a lot of times without pre-visualizations, you kind of lose those moments. You don't know, and it suddenly does that. So, and again, very important, whom you are traveling with, someone who is really passionate, and who are the tour organizers as well as the guides. So if I go to any part of the India, uh, I think we know some good people, good guides, who are always around, and we take their services, be it Bharatpur or bench, or we have a fixed driver and a guide called Mithun and Ajay. Then if you go to Bharatpur, you have Ranveer Singh, and then you go to Randamur, we have Vipul Jain, who have been there, who have been like born and brought up there, and they understand the forest like the back of their head. So very important. A lot of people, they want to travel, but then they come back disappointed. Oh, we didn't get to see a tiger, because they just go like a tourist, and sometimes people are not serious about the guides and all. They just want to finish off the normal task, just take them around and try to see. But then if you go with the people, with the where you have updated them, then it kind of helps, because it increases the probability of you getting the right photographs or the sightings that which you go. This is again a beautiful silhouette of a cheetah. It was sitting on the mount, and we waited for like almost 2 hours. It gave some amazing picture, different backdrops, and this is where I was experimenting, and this is a picture that I came up with. This is one of my favorites, and I think Hermes
Yeah.
knows the story behind it. So this is this guy is from a coalition called Tanabora. So they are like a four cheetah. Earlier they were like five cheetahs who had formed a coalition, and they were lazing around, and it was probably very late evening, almost sun was about to set, and we were waiting for them to at least wake up, give us some shots. And I think everyone anticipated, once they woke up, they were kind of walking towards the this mount. So
Termite
in
mount.
the termite mound, and then so in I think in Mara, what I've seen, you have like really big termite mounds, almost 8 to 9 feet tall. So it becomes like a vantage point for these people, the cheetahs, especially because they have to not only keep a lookout for a prey, but also look out for any predators who are the enemies, especially lions. So they are always very vigilant, and the good part was uh, uh, the colors, the sky is really magical in Mara. The sun is, you feel like you can hold the sun, it's so close. You have different hues of blue and orange, and the color. So this again, I've not post processed this. I've just done some touch up, but then it's come up so beautifully, the silhouette. This is again one of my favorites, giraffe in the early morning rising sun. And this was the first for me, but I had visualized all of these pictures way before even going, and I thought, okay, let me try. I wanted to experiment. I wanted to see how much I can push myself, my gears. And this is again a beautiful silhouette of giraffe. This is a classic Mara picture. I'm sure everyone who goes to Mara early morning, it could be anything. It could be elephants, it could be topies, or it could be lions. So we were lucky we got giraffe, and I think the cloud and the magnanimity, the landscape is something really cool. It's a place to experience at least once in a lifetime. So I regretted that. Okay, oh, why did not I go to Mara in first place all these years? And I vowed that okay, this is a place to go till I die. I mean, I can go every year. I loved it so much. This is again very very beautiful picture of giraffe. This is again a silhouette composition. I got this frame where they were like perfectly bisecting a tree to an end, a little bit hillock which was on the backside. So I love this composition, and it is again an evening shot. I have changed the tone to orange from blue to because I loved it, and again, it's not about you. I mean, I believe that post processing plays a very important role, and I can be artistic with my images. So there's no thumb rule in terms of how post processing should happen, unless and until you are like, of course, posting in competition, and and it's not modified and beyond comprehension. This is the what I call as the animal scape. I mean, not what I call, but this is a genre of photography called animal scape, where animal and element of nature or landscape we try to capture. So this is like a very very beautiful zebra. I love the contrast in the backdrop and the foreground of green grass. It had just rained, and like grass was just very lush green. So adding a very soothing tone to the overall image. This is again one of my favorites. This is again that Tanabora collation, and I had visualized this uh, actually moment those guys, these four brothers, they woke up and they started walking. I mean, two of them started walking, and everyone was sure like two will follow suit. So I wanted to be a little bit far from the mount to capture them in the backdrop, as well as some walking through the tall shafts of grass. And this is what I got. Again, I have kind of digitally enhanced the image, but then I just simply love the composition and the frame. This is again animal scape. The herd of elephant. I think they were just moving very very quickly. I wanted a full frame, a lot of elephants in single frame, but they were moving so fast that we were in front. We were repositioning our vehicle, and at one point in time, I think they just took a note of the vehicles around them, and they just paused for a moment, and that is when I captured this. I just simply love the way elephants are, and like the smaller ones, younger ones in the middle, and all a family and a matriarch. So the classic elephant picture. Uh, this is again a motion blur. I honestly, I wanted to try this. I wanted to have some pictures, but this is the only shot that I got. There's so much happening around when we were moving. I didn't got to uh, we didn't got to go to a wildebeest or a zebra herd, like a large herd, and a lot of those, and capturing the motion blur. But then this is what I got, and this is one of the genres of photography from an experimentation point of view. Do a lot of people who have joined this session, I'm sure, I mean, Warren to Wildlife, they'll definitely know. So I covered portraits, silhouettes, rim lights, animalscapes, and this is the motion blur kind of a thing. It gives really, distortion. It brings in distortion to. It's purposely achieved by lowering the shutter and making it blur to bring in this effect. So yeah, I mean, it's very appealing. Little action is another genre where you want to focus on the action that is happening around you. So one of the key things in wildlife is like you can miss a once in a lifetime opportunity uh, by seconds. So it's not easy as it may sound. There have been times where you get really frustrated, especially if in India, if you are going to, in a tiger reserve, there's no activity, there's no movement, and chips are down. You just tend to doze off, but then suddenly something happens, then you miss it. So one of the things is, as I'll again say, visualization is very important, and then um, uh, being ready to capture a particular action and visualizing that happening and waiting for it to happen with all the right settings, maybe taking a couple of test shots and checking out, okay, how is the composition, how is the light, and it is underexposed, overexposed composition, and all of that. So this is again in a hippo pool. It was a very crowded pool, lot of hippos, and I thought they'll be haggling for space, and this is the shot I made out of it. Now, this is the cheetah hunt. So, if you can see this cheetah, uh, and you can see a baby, I think it's a gazelle, Thompson's gazelle. So I call this frame as three flying machines, because the interesting part is, if you look in the backdrop, there's a small plane. It just took off. I have done a very heavy recovery because it was very very far. So it's looking a little bit bloated, but then um, it's a classic shot. I have more of this series where cheetah is hunting, and eventually he was successful. So I will say thanks to Hermes, we got two cheetah hunts. Um, Two cheetah hunts, and both were successful. One was, we reached the scene after we saw, because it was very far. So typically what happens is, um, you tend to position yourself quite far, anticipating cheetah will charge uh, at a certain prey. Generally, uh, if it's a small group of cheetah, like two of them, then they'll go for a smaller prey. But then, if you see online on Insta, and a lot of people, they put up the post of the coalition bringing down much larger prey like zebras or wildebeest and all of that. But it was very satisfying, just first time. And this was again the last morning. And with me, I have always had something with the last safari in most of my trips. Something, some action definitely happens. A lot of times where we have like completely blank safari, no tiger, no some good capture. And last safari, something happens, and it was the last morning, and I was praying that, okay, I get a cheetah hunt. So we got two charges. First charge was unsuccessful, and he continued, and this is the second charge where he was successful in hunting it down. Yeah. This is again, one of my very favorite shots. I remember, Hummus patting my back. This is like, man, wow, you got a very awesome shot. Uh,
Yeah.
so again, we are waiting for those four cheetahs to wake up and walk. So two of them had already been on the mount, and everyone I think was focusing on the mount, and I was very far actually from the mount. And since I wanted to photograph, the image which I showed walking the grass, and suddenly the guy who was in front, he just he just turned, and these people were like play fighting. So so uh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, and only you got that shot.
Yes, and only I got. So yeah, it makes you feel really. It's very satisfying when you get very nice pictures, especially the habitat shots or some action. This is again, I don't know this eagle's name. I think it's maybe Hermes, you know the name.
I think
Uh,
it's a Tony.
Tony, so a very interesting thing. This lapwing to the pair, I think they lay their eggs in the ground, and uh, this eagle had come, and they are so fearless. They chased this guy away till the time he just left. Like he completely left, and they were like completely fearless. So I got this interesting shot. I have like a couple of them. I think three or four. But this is very difficult a lot of times to photograph, because what happens is it happens so fast that you get a blur image. You get a blur image. So I think one of the techniques that I've learned is like, if you can visualize this, this guy is gonna come. You just focus on a certain area, and you do a continuous focus. And once the subject is in the frame, you go click, 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 and definitely, you get a sharp picture. In this, the eye is a little bit blurred for the lapwing, but then I have other pictures where it is very, very, um, very, very sharp. But then I wanted to show this. Both are looking at each other, like, so it's very kind of appealing. uh, Again, this is something very I want to experiment, so I try to make something out of nothing. So it's not always, if you are kind of shooting a cape buffalo or someone, you get good shots. So this is like a ox pecker, and they kind of share a very symbolic relation. It helps these guys get rid of the ticks and all of that. So I thought this is a very apt photograph where I don't want everything in the frame, but just a oxpecker sitting on a top of a buffalo. This is again a hippo pool yawn moment. You wait, you visualize, you click. So again, this was something I kind of loved. Um, this is I've a series of black and white photographs. So I loved this male. It was like walking head on. This is again, I think, second last morning, sixth day. Uh, so it was walking, and I loved the the fierce eyes and the expression that it gave. uh, so yeah, it was beautiful. And I have of late got into getting my pictures printed on canvases, and it comes out really beautiful. So I just love this black and white portraits. This is again, one of the things that I've learned is, uh, uh, I want to tell a story. I'm trying to get there. I'm not 100% there. I'm still learning. It's a journey. So this is again, some tender moments where I just love this frame. This is a frame. I have shot as it is. I have not cropped this image. I purposely took this. It's pretty amazing. The sequence of photographs that I have got. I think most of us in the group, very very small cubs, probably the smallest I have seen, and you know, uh, mother was trying to take them to the den, and it was a really really tough time. Two cubs were giving to the mother.
Yeah.
And in fact, there's a very interesting story. It was very emotional because one of the cubs got lost, and in fact, one of the jeeps of our group, eventually they were instrumental in reuniting the family. And even we saw how how the mother and the cub greeted each other. So uh, it was a very touchy moment. This is again, a frame which I loved. Nice composition, middle of the afternoon, nothing to do, and I'd seen similar kind of images. So Tony was our driver. I told him that, okay, wait, let's. I was gonna look out for if someone is closer to such kind of a composition, and luckily I kind of got one pair, and I like the overall. It's just very simple zebra and the stripes and the patterns, nothing else. So it's a very nice frame which I love. Again, ostriches, beautiful backdrop, savanna, the blue sky, and this male was chasing the female. And what I like is the synchronization in their, the feet. If you look at it, like almost like dancing. They're like dancing in the jungle. So again, action shot, which I love. This is again, when you are too close to a subject, what to do? You try to make something. This again shows the bond between the mother and the cub, and they are so carefree when they are in their mother's lap. It was very very, I would say, good to see such kind of a behavior. Um, Again, this the same guys. I try to zoom out, and with a smaller lens, I try to capture this. Now this is again the image which I was talking about. I'm sure everyone will love this. Such a small curve, and he was very naughty, and he was just running here and there all over the place. So mother had to, like, catch it by the scruff of his neck, and move him around. So it was like beautiful to capture this natural history moment and behavior. Like really, the jaws which are so powerful, which can crush with one bite, are so tender when it comes to picking up their cubs and moving them. This is again the same, from a series of the pictures. This was looking into the my lens, and I just got it. So it's a beautiful frame which I just simply love as it is. Okay, so I mean, I think a lot of pictures that you would have seen, you would have been like, wow, there's so much action, it's so much, it's so beautiful. But it's not always the case. There are times when there is no action, absolutely. There's a lot of, especially, mid afternoon. Best times are, of course, the mornings and the evenings, the golden light, what we call, or the golden hour, where you get the best light and the best conditions to take photographs. But then um, the behavior of certain animals, you have to kind of predict. You have to see that how they're gonna, like, what I understood was, cheetah would typically hunt in middle of the afternoon, because prey would, who have been grazing through night and through early morning, they would be trying to take a pause, or just rest for a while, and that's the best time for it to kind of go and capture. But sometimes it's not so easy. There have been times, especially when I had been birding for bird photography, especially in a very very remote places like Latpanchar and Eagle's Nest. We have come across situations where we went to a certain location to shoot this glide kingfisher, and it started pouring and we had to return back, and while returning back there was a landslide and we were completely cut off. And the time of the year was when I had gone was onset of the monsoon, which was like mid of May, and there was no one in the camp. They had just kept the camp open for me and one of my very good, my mentor and my guide Vishal, and we had to literally cut the a small portion of the road to maneuver our vehicle to the other side. So it's not easy, especially when there's a lot of walking is involved. It's very tiring. If you are carrying like, especially for bird photography, you need a lot of stability. So there's tripod, gimbal, which itself is like very heavy. So you have like 10 kg load on your shoulder, and you're walking, and you have to walk for like kilometers, and then you have to do all of these. So it's not always, but it is very, like for me it is very satisfying. It gives me a lot of time to rejuvenate, and just lay down and forget about my work. There's a lot of, um, uh, our work is very intense. We have to be on our toes. Cybersecurity is a domain where action is very fast, things are changing very fast, and challenges are different, and then a lot of other things which goes on and so on and so forth. So it does help, but again it is not just a walk in the park. You have to, uh, be ready if you want to get into a wildlife photography. It's very tiring. So it is not like a relaxation that okay, I want to relax. If you want to do, of course you can relax. If you go on a trip, you decide to, vehicle is moving, a lot of bumpy roads. Most of the wild places you will find bumpy road. You will not have like a tar road, like good road to go and travel. So you got to be ready at the end of the trip. It's like you feel, oh man, I'm so tired. uh, Masai Mara, we used to be out like at 5 in the morning, so I had to wake up at 4 and be ready, have a very strong black coffee, few biscuits, and it was very cold, very chilly. So we used to have something called like a bush baby. They call it bush baby. It's nothing but a warmer and jackets, blankets. We used to just wear it, and we used to start the day. And most of the days I had like full day safaris, because I didn't want to miss out on the action. So we were out like full day, and we used to be back to the camp by 7:30. Was beautiful camp. So moment we used to get down, it was so tiring that I had to literally crawl myself to the dining room, and you just I just used to crash, once in the room. First day was very, very very funny thing, because the camp is again in the middle of the Masai Mara Reserve, and it is again tent. It is tense. Also, you keep on hearing a lot of different noises. Lions are howling, and hyenas are you know hyenas, and they are fighting, and there's so many different noises. So it kind of, it's very spooky. But then second day onwards, uh, I used to just be asleep in no time. So this is again, I think, leopard called Bahati. But I am not sure Bahati or Luluka. It had one of the cubs. So we got also the cub which was there on the tree. So it was very, for me, it was very special to actually see the power of this female. Uh, the prey. it was dragging. It has so much power, and this is not a small tree. It's pretty tall, and the way it was climbing, vertical. Um, I feel I was lucky to see this action, and that is the reason I thought I should share this picture. Um, Again, one of the things which I have learned is, in my photography, I want to tell a story. I want to uh, I want to show something which invokes some sense of curiosity, some sense of sadness, or happiness, those tender moments. So this very interesting thing happened with us, where we saw a live birth of impala baby. Again, this pictures, the first picture is not related to the other three. So we saw the impala giving a birth, the entire sequence, and way within, I think, 7 minutes, the baby was up, and it was a joy to watch. Way it was, it was like a spring. It was jumping, it was running, and that entire sequence, right from it coming out of mother's womb to trying, struggling to gain its strength, and then um, the mother nurturing it to, okay, get up, get up, get up. It was very, very beautiful, very, very touchy. And within a couple of hours after that, we got this cheetah whom we are tracking. We knew it's on a lookout, and we're tracking it like, I don't know how many kilometers. And then we kind of, we saw the action. It didn't ran towards that. It ran on the left, to from where we were, and we rushed to this spot, and it just caught a fawn, just born. Not even the umbilical cord had come off, if you can see in this picture. So it's kind of, you feel sad, but that's nature. That's what I felt. We cannot do anything about it. We just got to observe it, and it was actually toying with the fawn. It was carrying it by scruff of its neck, and then throwing it, and allowing it to run, and then again catching it, and all of that, the entire sequence. So again, this is something to experience. And I think this entire episode was very powerful. It stayed with me, because I had seen a birth, and I had seen, like, life and death in space of couple of hours. This is the aerial photography which I had done. So if you see, I was in a balloon when I kind of shot this. You can see the four giraffes in the left frame. Uh, they're moving. It was very, very interesting. I'd never attempted a kind of a, like a balloon ride, hot air balloon. We were very, very cramped for space, and but still, I managed to sneak in my smaller lens, and I got some, I would say, very good images. This again I have hastily put up, but I have some more better images, I feel. So if you see, like, this is a cheetah, it's just like a dot in the entire savannah. It's just looking out early morning for a prey. So it was very interesting to capture. Uh, of course, I've made a lot of friends over the years, and we celebrated the cheetah hunt. Was something special for everyone, and Hermes was kind enough to get few beers and near where we were, and it was so much fun. I'd made so much. I mean, there was so much humor, laughter, and so much happiness around. So yeah, I mean, these are like people whom I travel with often, and I feel I have learned from them a lot. They have mentored me, so thanks to them. Uh, yeah. Um, what do I use? What gears do I use? So these are the typically the bodies and um, the lenses which I have invested in. I previously had I started off the entire journey with a D50-100 crop lens, the body with the Sigma 150-500 lens, which served me really well. And but then I realized over a period of time that um, uh, you you know that you have like pushed the gear to its limit and you're not satisfied with what you're getting. So beyond a point, then you will feel that urge to have the better to get a better pictures and the performance out of the gears. You would want to invest in the body. So I have just recently ordered a mirrorless body, which is the Z9 from Nikon. It's again state of the art. It's not yet arrived, but I'm waiting for it to come. I have used D750 extensively, and I use Nikon's flagship lens, 2.8 400 mm, and also I have for a wider focal length. I use 70-200. Also, I have a small converter. For birding, I have invested in a gimbal. Gimbal is basically it supports the camera. It's basically it can mount, so you don't have to carry a very heavy lens. It's almost close to 4.5-5 kgs with the body, so you cannot have the stability all the time, especially when you are doing a bird photography. So this is something I have with me, and the tripod from Gitlo. I have recently come across a very interesting piece of equipment which is called a panning pod, which is basically nothing but similar to a tripod, but you can mount it when you are in a jeep or you are in a safari. You cannot put a like a big tripod, so you can still get the pan tilt zoom. You can quickly maneuver without kind of lifting it from a beanbag. Of course, then I secure all my equipment using a dry cabinet, where it takes care of the moisture, there's no fungus and all of that. So these are the things typically recommended. Apart from that, editing software, I use Adobe Lightroom. I'm learning. I think I have a fair idea now, but then a lot of advanced options and advanced settings basically. So it helps. So photographing is only one part. Another very important aspect of photography is post processing. Post processing plays a very important role in recovery of the picture that you take. um, so I shoot in raw, so I can recover the image. If I made any mistake while composing or like shooting, so there's a lot of you can recover the image almost 100%. And I used to for beginners, Nikon View NXD is a very good um, software which is available free of cost, basically for editing, post processing. So my advice is, for anyone who wants to take up wildlife, is how I have started was basically, going in the backyard, learning the ropes. But now I think there's a lot of advancement that has happened in terms of how you can learn things, and definitely you can become a better photographer. But the key to learning is, having a practical exposure, being out there. It doesn't necessarily have to be like I have to be in the wild or go to a tiger reserve to get good photographs. Once I learn, and then it's very easy to having a control over the equipment. Lot of my photographs which were 2017-18, before that, were by fluke, because I just got lucky to get a good photograph, because everything fell in place, and I got a good photograph. But then going in depth, understanding the nuances, and then so I've become a bit technical, where I understand what is metering to an extent, how to use which all modes, and then again visualizing things in advance. Typically, it helps me. I've invested in an editing PC, which is very important, and also since I intend to print a lot of my images. I've invested in a BenQ SW240 monitor because it gives me Adobe RGB 99% calibrated pictures. So it, so what I see and what gets printed is the same. Otherwise, if I process it in sRGB, which is typically used for for the print, not the print media, but the online media, social media, digital, basically, it cannot be the same. So I use this configuration, which gives me good quality post processing capabilities. So that's it from my end. I'm sure you would have liked what you saw. So thank you again. And if any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you. That was a beautiful presentation.
Thanks, Nisha.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
You took me again to Masai Mara through those pictures.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. As I said, I was like, why I didn't go to this place. So the good part was this trip happened by fluke. I was in Dubai for some work. I didn't even had my gears. It was in Mumbai. I was not sure. Uh, but one thing I had that in the back of the mind that maybe I'll go to Masai Mara. So I took that yellow fever vaccination. I went to and I took that certificate. And when I landed in Dubai, first thing I did was I contacted Hermes, and I started like inquiring, and he told like we have a trip coming up, and I made up my mind. So luckily, one of my colleagues was coming from Mumbai, so he bought my gears, and I also bought one extra body on rent because I didn't want to take a chance because I didn't have the uh, extra equipment to be sure. But the way it happened, I thought it was one of the best trips of my life till date. And thanks to Hermes and thanks to Nisha, I wanted to catch up with you also sometime. I want to catch up with you sometime. I've seen your pictures. It's mind blowing. Other thing, I would really recommend Mara Trails, Paws Trail for their travel, their hospitality. So I was pleasantly surprised to have Indian food every day on the counter in middle of like nowhere. So that was a pleasant surprise. And also the camp is beautiful, location is beautiful. I couldn't have asked for anything more. So yeah, highly recommended to
Thank you.
travel.
And we are glad that you liked the
Thank
place
you.
and overall everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we have so many messages.
Yeah. More than 50 messages you got.
Yeah.
All
Right.
appreciating your pictures.
Your pictures, your
Thank you
experience.
everyone.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of my friends would have joined. I was like, please ensure you guys. And I think this is the first time, in fact, even a lot of people whom I know, but we have never done such a session. And thanks to you guys, it just happened that I'm able to share few of uh, my experiences, what I have captured.
Yeah. It's our pleasure, and we all learn from each of us,
Yeah.
like sharing the knowledge, sharing the experience. We learn from that. That's why we made this platform as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
yes,
all about sharing knowledge.
right, right. I've seen a lot of contemporary, photographers who are really great photographers on this platform. So Of course, it's a privilege for me to be here. But as I said, I'm still I'm not a pro guy. I'm learning, and it's like a work in progress. And I want to keep on improving
Yeah.
all the time.
It's something which we all do. I mean, it's photography, especially, I mean, any genre, but specifically talking about wildlife is every day you're learning something, either from wild or from experience. So it's natural.
Correct. Right.
Yes. And
Great.
yeah, thanks again a lot, Krishnakant. We will meet sometime soon. When are you coming to Dubai next?
Pretty soon.
Okay. Then we'll
Soon,
meet
but
here. We'll plan
def-
some trip again to some other place.
definitely, I would love to, travel with you guys.
Yeah, sure. Okay,
All
then.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Thanks, Nisha. Thanks, Ramesh. Thanks to everyone who all have joined in. Thank you so much, and good night.
Where
Yeah, there
we have
is.
one question from Biju. How do you handle family pressure, especially kids, while you're busy in your photography?
That's a very interesting question. Luckily, I have a lot of support from my family, and they are very supportive. And I have parents who always encourage following what are my dreams or my passions. So you have to take time out. It is nothing like pressure or something, but then you got to take time out for what you love, and what will make you rejuvenated. I feel like I'm in a meditative state when I'm in a jungle. It makes me forget a lot of things, and it gives me a lot of fresh perspectives about what I'm doing, why I'm doing. Uh, yeah, so there is no definitive answer, but then other thing is you travel with the family. So I have a 4.5-year-old daughter, and I have a young son who is just a year and a half old. And I think my daughter knows almost a lot of bird by names, uh, almost all the mammals. One of the things, interesting thing that I have observed is most of the people, they are confused between a cheetah and a leopard.
Yeah.
Okay, they will call leopard a cheetah and cheetah a leopard.
Yes.
So she can like perfectly tell that what is what. And she travels with me, of course not internationally, but locally. She was less than a year old when she saw her first tiger. So
Oh,
uh, so it's like now she's used to it. And I think, as I told, I have a family who understands that this is something I really love, and they give me a lot of support pursuing my hobby.
That's
that's
great.
great. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
we don't have more questions,
Question.
so we'll wind up the session.
All right,
And
sure.
yeah, thanks to you. See you soon again.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone. Bye and good night.
good night.
So that was a beautiful session and a lot of animals, lot of birds, and great experience sharing. And me being jealous, you guys had a wonderful time. I'm really hoping to get back to Mara sometime.
Yes, we hope
We hope.
the it's again closed. Flights are suspended,
Yeah,
so we
only for
hope it
Middle
opens
East, I
soon.
guess.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because I we
Yeah.
have still friends over there from other part of the world. Unfortunately, for Middle East, it's closed.
Yeah.
So let's hope how things works, and let's hope this new variant, Omicron, right? Whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to settle down soon without much damage again, and please stay safe.
Yes. Okay. So that's it
Okay.
for the day.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon. I think we have a webinar on 29th.
Okay.
Another photographer sharing his experience.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So we'll wait for that. Until then,
Bye
take
bye.
care, have a good night and safe evening.